Hello everyone, this is Crota coming at you guys, giving you guys game number 3 in this best of 3 series. And wow, what an exciting series this has been. Yumiko versus Romantic, as we see Yumiko spawning here as the gray human player, meanwhile Romantic spawning here as the red human. Now, so far this series has really come down to a lot of execution. Both of the players have been using very similar strategies, but coming down to execution and timing and knowing when to attack has really made a big difference. I think in that last game, Yumiko could have taken the game if he had not well, he actually kind of needed to capitalize on the opportunity that the panda was taken out. So he needed to attack his opponent's base at that moment, but because he was attacking his opponent's base, his opponent was able to use militia, and that was the key deciding factor. Militia are an extremely effective countermeasure because not only of their damage, but because of their movement speed. Their very fast movement speed means that when you try to run away, the militia are able to essentially get free hits onto your opponent's units. Especially when it is militia versus spellbreakers, the militia will generally win every time. Spellbreakers cost 3 supply or 3 food, militia each cost 1, so if you have 3 workers for each of those spellbreakers just attacking, you will melt away that medium armor, as we saw. Now, this is Turtle Rock, so this is going to be the third and final game on a map where it is rather large in terms of size, but you do end up walking into your opponent's path quite often because of the dead areas around the map and because of the common pathways here in the center and here at the goblin or here at the merchant shops. It is very easy to find your opponent and figure out what they're up to. Dropping these Watcher wards from the Ogre Magi as well is a very big deal, especially if you can pull the Ogre Magi down into this pathway here and keep track of everything. Alright, let's see what's happening here. It looks as though Romantic is actually a little bit ahead in terms of the creeping. Unless, no, he's not ahead. He actually decided to ignore his starting green creep camp, instead went after the orange one, and now perhaps is going to make his way back. Let's take a look. He may drop a water elemental here and then decide to finish it off. Let's see who's going to be coming out ahead. It looks as though Yumiko... It looks like Yumiko and Romantic are pretty much neck and neck, maybe differing by 5 seconds. That 5-second difference is not going to make that much of a difference as of yet, as we're looking at the sea turtle hatchling now going down. Based upon these spawning locations and the cross positions, I wouldn't be surprised if both of these players' archmages got to level 3 before we saw a serious engagement between these two players. It's not unheard of where both players will just try and creep out other orange creep camps, but I am completely wrong. It looks as though we're going to have a little bit of a scuffle in the center portion of the map. I'm not quite sure why, as we are now looking to pull in militia to try and creep out the gargantuan sea turtle creep camp. This is going to be important as the giant sea turtles have medium armor, and as long as the gargantuan sea turtle is focusing on to something else, such as the water elementals, that's going to actually be good news. Alright, let's take a look at this. The footmen are now looking to engage against the archmage. Militia are now trying to pull back over here. Archmage is still sitting at level 2, wants to get to level 3, but because of the harassment from Yumiko, is unable to do so. Archmage now comes over. Archmage of Yumiko is actually slightly less or slightly lower in terms of experience, but it doesn't matter how close you are to level 3. If you're not at level 3, you are not going to get that benefit. This footman now going to run perhaps all the way back here. These footmen need to hide back here, otherwise the archmage may be able to aggro them and pull them out of hiding. Alright, let's take a look at this. 1 footman, 2 footmen. This peasant now also going to run back as well, wanting to make sure he is not caught. Archmage picking up boots of speed, most likely. Perhaps selling the gauntlets of ogre strength. No? Okay, apparently he is an indecisive shopper, unable to figure out what type of shoes he wants to buy. I could make a sexist joke there, but then that would be sexist. Anyways, Footmen now making their way back off to the north here. Footmen doing a little bit of chase as they're kind of out of position. Romantic's Footmen are just out of position here, not exactly sure what they're doing, as this Footman down to 46 hit points. It looks like it will not be able to escape. Down to 24. One more shot, maybe two will do it. No, one was enough. Yeah, one was enough there, as the Militia now going to finish off this gargantuan sea turtle. Oh, does he have enough time? This is going to be cutting it extremely close. And yes, he does have enough time. Archmage is now at level 3. Can he pick up the potion of greater healing? Oh, yes, moves the Militia around. Beautifully done in order to aggro, but now needs to try and save that Militia, and down to 3 hit points. Beautifully played so far, as the Footman, no, he did not get the experience off of that. Beautiful denial by Yumiko at the very last minute, and so many micro attempts in this matchup is making this extremely, extremely close game. All right, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I'm on fire today in terms of casting. Let me know if I'm actually casting a little bit better. It may be the 4 cups of milk tea that I drank and all the caffeine, but wow, I feel very, very energetic and very sharp. It may just be the caffeine making me think that I'm doing a much better job than I normally am, but let's go ahead and come back down over here. Goblin Merchant Shop now getting creeped out here. Breath of Fire coming across on the Ogre Warriors, as we are going to go focus down the Ogre Magi. Archmage is going to prevent the Panda from getting to level 2. Meanwhile, Archmage down over here wants to get to level 3 himself, but is going to get denied because the Mountain King is there. Alright, so the Mountain King going to steal a little bit of experience, preventing the Archmage from getting to 3. Meanwhile, the Archmage is going to steal a little bit of experience, preventing the Panda to get to 2. We are going to be sitting on a 3-1 compared to 2-1 heroes in just a moment, as the Gargantuan Sea Turtle will get taken down. This is going to be important, figuring out what type of item was dropped, and it is a potion of greater healing. Panda now needs to back off. There's a breath of fire across a lot of Militia, but those Militia were not low on hit points, and the Panda only at level 1. That breath of fire is not that potent yet. All right, Footman very low on hit points. Oh, out of sight for just a second, as the Boots of Speed is going to allow that Mountain King to catch up really easily. There's the Stormbolt, and that Footman has seen better days, like yesterday when he was still alive. Coming back around, Archmage attempting to take down one of Yumiko's Footmen. The Footman now running back away. It looks like it will be able to do exactly that. Meanwhile, let's take a look at the supply. We are sitting at 37 over 54 compared to 41 over 48. Yumiko slightly ahead in this, as we are looking at probably very similar builds. Arcane Sanctums, Arcane Vault. It looks as though the Arcane Vault just now coming in, but also Yumiko has to deal with, or will have to deal with, a lot of fresh Footmen here in just a moment, as the Panda and the Archmage has now come back. More priests getting trained back up. Militia now coming over. Where are the Militia going? Perhaps going to try and creep out this red or orange creep camp. That is going to be important. Is the Archmage? Yep, the Archmage is still on his way towards this red creep camp here, and we already see that the Archmage here is going to be getting to level 3. Yumiko and Yumiko's Mountain King sitting at level 2. Archmage will be getting to 3. Meanwhile, we see creeping out of the very, very high level creep camp here. Panda already sitting at 2. Will get extremely close to level 3 here, as the Panda now going to take on the Forest Troll Warlord, picking up Scourge Bone Chimes, and that is going to be an even bigger benefit. The Panda now at 3 as well, and wow, that Panda at 3 is going to be definitely scary. Coming back around. All right. Poor Footman. Footman now down to 193 hit points. May get taken down with a Breath of Fire. No, the Panda has enough speed. And nope, decides to go down with a Breath of Fire anyway, as the Archmage and the Panda sitting at level 3 here. All right, let's go ahead and see what's going to happen. It looked like Yumiko had to pause the game for just a moment. Not all too happy about that, as the Footmen are now looking to clear out this creep camp. Mountain King is sitting at 3 as well. So both sides sitting on about even heroes. What is the play going to look like? The Panda now with +6 strength. The items will become a very, very important deal, as the Archmage sitting at 3. The Mountain King does have some very good items there with that Wand of Mana Stealing, and if he's able to steal mana from either the Panda or the Archmage, that could be very, very important. Town Hall nearly constructed, and we are going to be going into a little bit of a battle here. A big thunderclap coming in across all those units. Also, a Breath of Fire coming in. Footman now trying to engage here, but this is not a good battle at all as a Stormbolt now comes down. 46 over 54 supply compared to 48 over 60 as the peasants are now going to try and start mining some gold. All right, this is going to be an important attack. Are we going to see Militia now called in from the main base? No, we are not. And with that one Arcane Tower, it looked like he's going to be able to hide behind it and not have to really worry. All right, Archmage doing his best to take this down. Not going to really work, though. I also believe that there is perhaps one too many peasants. Nope. Panda now looking to engage here. There's a Breath of Fire getting in a little bit of damage, but not very much, as the Panda now just constantly attacking. All right, let's take a look at this. The Panda is very low on mana, so he's not going to be able to do very much, as the low hit point Footman is able to make it through to the back. Panda, Mountain King, Archmage, both of them going in for the fights, but none of them really able to commit. And Yumiko realizes that he has to set up an expansion of his own, otherwise he's going to end up falling behind. Now setting up this expansion down over here, it has been revealed. Arcane Sentry from that Arcane Tower revealing this expansion location, and that is huge. Now we know that we are pretty much even in terms of the overall pacing of the game. All right, Archmage, Panda both sitting at 3. Footman actually caught out of position there. Meanwhile, it looks as though Stormbolt from the Mountain King may not be able to catch up to this Footman here. The Footman should just be able to run on ahead. Oh, Spellbreaker doing a great bit of pathing, and this Footman trying to get taken out by creeps. Looks like he will get taken out by creeps, and beautiful denial there, as we are now looking at the Archmage and the Panda perhaps looking into an engagement here on this gold mine. If he's able to catch this, this is going to be a very, very important fight, as the Mountain King actually overextends himself just a little bit. Archmage drops a Water Elemental, could try to take down that Gargantuan Sea Turtle creep camp. We are now 12 minutes into this game, and still no clear advantage to either player. 58 compared to 61 compared to 58. We are pretty much neck and neck in terms of supply, as this Water Elemental, will it give? No, it will not give Mountain King level 4. And the Water Elemental is still running away, as it doesn't want to give any free experience. So far, I thought the Scourge Bone Chimes would have made a much bigger impact, but as we are transitioning away from Footman, only unit that's going to really benefit is that Panda, and that Panda is really wanting to perhaps get a little bit more damage somewhere else. There's a Breath of Fire only hitting a turtle, actually helping his opponent a little bit, as the Mountain King getting very close to 4 now. All right, level 2 Thunderclap could be huge, as we now see, wait, what's going on? Breath of Fire hitting a bunch of casters over there, as we are now seeing a full bit of retreat. Spellbreaker is going to catch up. Oh, Stormbolt onto the Priest, trying to get some free damage back as the units are running, as now the Mountain King is sitting at level 4. Mountain King is very low on mana, though, so will not be able to get off any Stormbolts. So far, the Spellbreakers are still engaging. 1-1 compared to 0-0, and that is going to be a big difference, as Yumiko is starting to edge out, coming and taking down giant sea turtles as well. Mountain King still has a potion of greater healing, and we have a potion of scroll of healing, excuse me, on a level 4 Archmage, getting almost exactly the amount of experience it needs, and that little bit of extra mana may start to spell the beginning of the end for Romantic. All right, here we are, only one tower here, and perhaps that one tower is going to be enough, as the casters are now trying to come in from the bottom. Water Elemental getting just absolutely pummeled here, and are we going to see an engagement come in here anytime soon? We now need to see these units. Archmage now coming in. All right, what is going to happen? The Panda needs to get in position as well. All the Spellbreakers are in that front position, but pretty much not afraid of that Panda at all. The Breath of Fire is just going to be shrugged off and laughed at, as we're now looking at all of these. What are these peasants doing besides just walking around? They need to be mining gold, and that was a little bit of a mistake there, as we see a Wand of Mana Stealing denying mana from that Panda again. The Panda pretty much out of mana, not able to Breath of Fire all of these units. What is going on here? It looks like this was an accidental call to arms, and that is going to be an absolute misplay here, as they should be mining. All right, they need to be also repairing that Arcane Tower, not repairing at all, and Yumiko looks like things are going his way. All right, level 4 Archmage, level 4 Mountain King. The Mountain King, however, running around, not in a very good spot either. Maybe forced to use the Potion of Greater Healing in just a second. All right, okay, there is the Potion of Greater Healing, but is he going to be able to get away in time? All right, low hit point Spellbreaker now pulling back here as the Spellbreakers are doing a little bit of chase. What is going on in this fight? We are now sitting at 1-1 compared to 2-1 upgrades as Yumiko is still ahead in the upgrade race. Mountain King now still trying to fight back over here. You can see that the vampiric aura actually helping out the peasants a little bit. That comes as a bit of a surprise, as now Yumiko's line is completely melted away as well. This is not looking good for him, but a good scroll of healing now starting to even things up just a little bit more. And are we going to see, yes, focus onto those casters? The casters now getting taken down, and as all of the priests are going to get taken out, the priests in the backline here are keeping the rest of the army of Romantic alive, and that's actually helping out tremendously. There's a Breath of Fire, but not really hitting anything there, as we see a couple of Dispel Magics once again. Oh, that one Water Elemental is so low on hit points, but still gaining, as we are looking at that Mountain King trying to escape. Mountain King looks like it will be able to get back. Lower hit point Spellbreakers, 2 of them may end up falling. There goes one, and the other one's still alive ever so barely. There is another Dispel Magic. What's going to be happening next? Panda still rolling back here. Spellbreakers continuing to engage, and this is not looking good. All right, Water Elemental going to go ahead and get taken down there. Level 4 now on the Archmage, finally. So a little bit of a delay there as the Breath of Fire. Oh, the Panda loses mana right as he was about to Breath of Fire, unable to get the Breath of Fire off, as the Spellbreakers are now still focusing this down. Now it looks like Yumiko's ahead again, and Yumiko's army, I believe that Scroll of Healing was just enough to really start tipping things in his favor, as the Mountain King now sits at level 5. Level 5 Mountain King with level 2 Brilliant Aura behind him. Those Storm Bolts of 375 could be huge. Meanwhile, this one footman has taken down a number of units off over here, as we're looking at both of them trying to regroup. Supply 49 over 66 compared to 78 over 78. It's pretty much going to be a foregone conclusion now that Yumiko is going to take this game. He's up on army, he's up on hero level, he's up on bases, and that means he has the full trifecta of what you really need to win in Warcraft 3. Archmage not going to get any experience off of this, as he's already sitting at level 5. Ogre Lord, however, going to drop a very nice item, and that is going to be the end. Ogre Lord, once it falls, I don't know what item is going to be dropped. Meanwhile, let's take a look down over here. Panda trying to catch up in terms of the experience race. I don't believe it's going to really work, though. The Panda is regenerating hit points rather nicely, getting True Shot Aura. That it's going to help the Archmage and the Spellbreakers. Tome of Knowledge being left behind. Apparently not important enough to get +1 on all stats. We are going to see an engagement here. Mountain King now getting a little bit caught out of position. We see Unholy Aura on the Archmage. That Archmage is going to be moving extremely quickly along with those Spellbreakers. And that is going to start tipping things in favor of Yumiko's army, as they'll be able to chase and deal more damage. All right, Yumiko now trying to pull back Potion of Invulnerability used by the Mountain King. Stormbolt onto a Priest, straight up killing it. And I believe that is going to be the game. The Spellbreakers are just having too many numbers behind it. And Yumiko is going to take game number 3 of this best of 3 series over Romantic. I'm still calling it, even though the game is still going. Let's wait for it, wait for it. Oh, trying to go after that Mountain King. That Mountain King is running back. Cloak of Shadows, and there is the GG. Yes, Romantic waving the white flag. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you guys enjoyed it.